Wonder where they get those descriptions. I remember being 26 years old and starting in 1988 as Ken Gallagher's secretary at the front desk. Minimum wage, folks. It's been an improvement. Well, what I wanted to do is share with you some ideas, and I'll try and give you some sales ideas along the way. You've got a couple of handouts, and I'll kind of visit with those a little bit as we go along. And they've got me all kind of mic'd up and all kinds of paperwork. Cross-selling by increasing client relationships. Now this is designated as a multi-line section, but really we're all doing the exact same job. We're all multi-line. I know very few agents or registered reps that sell only one product. We're no longer just a one product type of shop. Even if we're a life shop, we offer disability, long-term care, financial plans, etc. So when you're thinking of multi-line, you've got multi-line property and casualty, and then you've got multi-line your traditional agent. Cross-selling, increasing sales. There's two ways to increase your sales. Find new clients or sell to existing clients that already like and trust you. We've all heard you can work smarter or you can work harder. The object is we need to work harder to meet new people, but if we work smarter with the people that we already have, we can increase our sales. But there's four things that you need to be effective. First of all, product. Your companies already have them. If you don't have a company, I'm sure any one of the vendors would be glad to help you today. Prospects. Now these are people that you want to do business with and people that you want to do business with and people that want to do business with you. Recently there was the new vampire series Twilight, and the one rule for all vampire movies is if you invite the vampire in, they get to come in every day thereafter. You have certain clients, they're like energy suckers, vampires. Do not invite them into your operations. Work very hard to select individuals that you want to do business with and people that want to do business with you. It will make your career a lot more enjoyable. The other thing you need is a process, and we all know this. Keep it super simple, or you can get some other anagrams in there as well. The most important part is timing. Your clients do not remember the laundry list of things that you gave them the first day you met. We are not nearly as interesting as we think we are. Our clients wake up 6:30 in the morning, they get their two kids off to school, make breakfast, put laundry in, get the spouse off to work, put the dog out, come home, we get homework started, we get people off to soccer, we get dinner started, we get the kids off to bed, we hopefully kiss our spouse, we go to bed, we wake up tomorrow, and we do it again. Does that pretty much sound like most of your clients? We're not nearly as interesting as we think we are. It's about timing. We've got to be able to put the right product, the right solution in front of our clients when they need it most. It's all about timing. And then knowledge. Now, knowledge is part of what you're doing here today. Belonging to NAIFA, the magazine itself, filled with all sorts of relevant ideas to help you increase your practice. The networking that you get between other agents. Belonging to the local associations, the additional associations belong beyond NAIFA. I belong to the Gamma International, the American College Alumni Organization. Then it's getting additional knowledge from beyond just your companies, talking about the American College. If you're a new agent, I recommend that you start with your financial service specialist. After that, 3 classes beyond that, you're going to be looking at your LUTCF. What the American College has found is that those agents that are currently actively enrolled in FSS classes are making approximately 31 to 54% more income while they're actively involved in those classes. So if you just want to start increasing income, consider taking up another class with the American College. What they also found is after completion of getting your designation, income increases by 80%. You're not just getting information, you're not just increasing income. The information you're getting is the difference between what you can provide to your clients and what their future will look like. You are the change agent. I cannot stress this enough. If the last time your doctor had any education was 20 years ago when they graduated, you wouldn't allow them to operate on your pet. You have a moral obligation to your clients and to those we serve to make sure that you get the appropriate education. But then I'm preaching to the choir because you're all here. Systems. You need a prospecting system. This is your work creator. This is where your income is a reflection of how successful you're at developing relationships and transitioning them in to buying your products. This is the process. You have to remember, every time you're setting up your prospecting system, you're trying to create relationships. Your client management system. How do you manage your inventory of names? You've got paper ways and you've got electronic. Paper ways are going to be birthday cards, handwritten letters. Your clients read them. They cherish them. Electronic. You've got, if you haven't ever taken a look at it, you've got identity branding with Robert Kremeroy. Chances are you've probably gotten a Happy New Year's card, a Groundhog's Day card, and a Valentine's Day card. They come electronically. And we sometimes think, well, they may not make a difference. 2 weeks ago in my office, I got a handwritten card from one of my clients. And when I opened the card, it was to everyone in the office, and it specifically said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Groundhog's Day, and Happy Valentine's Day, signed by the entire family. That meant they cared enough about me as their agent that identity branding was a touch point to them. If you're multi-line property and casualty, if the last time you talked to your client was when they got a rate increase, you're not building a relationship. If it's always when the company is direct mailing them, you're not forming a relationship. If you're a life-only agent and the only time you talk to your client is when you have every 2 years and your broker-dealer requires that you update suitability, you're not building a relationship. How are you managing your inventory of people and relationships? You need to make sure that you have systems in place so that you can develop it. Your approach system. What do you say? So I got people that like me. I have people that trust me. What do you say to them now? Well, the problem is you have people that you want to do business with. We all want to deal with the top, 1 to 5% earners in the United States. If you're multiple line, not all of my clients fall into that category. The solution, if you have an efficient, low-key approach that you can get to your clients on a favorable basis, and I'm going to go over that with you. The priority planning review. At my company, we call it a professional insurance review. You already have the relationship. The average client buys 4 to 7 times from an agent in their lifetime, but the average agent only sells 1.5. So just in case you're wondering if I'm making these numbers up, they come from Bill O'Quinn of VSA, which is Virtual Sales Assistants. Your NAIFA membership actually provides you with a reduced cost to actually have access to VSA, so you can get a lot of these tidbits. So if you've only sold your client 1 or 2 times, in their lifetime, they are likely to buy 5 more times. Make sure you're their option. Relationships require maintenance. Since this is the first week right after Valentine's Day, I'm going to assume that on February 14th, most of you woke up and at minimum, you reached over and you kissed that special someone and said, I love you, happy Valentine's Day. Relationships require maintenance. When you don't maintain a relationship, that's when you tend to get a divorce. And if you've ever lost a client, at that point there was a divorce. And they're personal. They always say, well, it's not personal, I'm leaving. Oh no, it's very personal. So you need to make sure you maintain those relationships. The way the priority planning review approach is set up is you're going to ask questions that are client focused. It's not about you. We automatically assume that everybody needs our products. I know they do. To drive over to here, I'm a property and casualty agent, there were all those cars in my way. Every single one of them needed my product. Every home, even the ones that are upside down that still have a mortgage, they needed my products. I assume everybody needs my products. Now here's the big rub. They don't know that they need my products. That's where we need to work. But I've got great news. All of your companies have got systems in place where you actually can go through this review process. The statistics hold that if you state that you will hold 10 to 12 of these review appointments per week, over time, you will have 6 opening interviews and you will close 2 sales per week. Once again, increasing your income. So what do you need to do? You need to make sure that you're relevant. There's certain areas that are going to set the stage. The first one is personal information. You're going to update the file. Now here is a really neat sales idea. And it's not mine. It actually came from my daughter. She was a marketing representative for a while. You can go online and you can Google Emery board. And you can get them where they're actually have your name put on the Emery board. It's a nail file for men that you're unaware of. And you send it out to your clients and say, I'd like to update our file. He who has the most information wins. And I can promise you the wife will take that Emery board with your name and information, and it will go in her purse. Because you never know when you're going to, get a little snag on a fingernail. Updating the files are most important because you got to know when the key events are in their lifetime. Current planning information. What have they done? And then their future plans and what are their priorities. Not what are my priorities. When I work with my clients, I ask a lot of them. I said, do you watch football? I'm a big football fan. My favorite commercial of all time during the football commercials is the Fidelity line. Does anyone not know what the Fidelity green line is? Your clients do. We do the exact same thing, and Fidelity advertises for you. God bless them. I tell my clients, let me find out what your hopes and dreams are. What do you want? And I will be your Jiminy Cricket. I will keep you on your line to make sure that you achieve them. The format of your review is actually going to be a format that's designed to help the client understand the type of work you do. Remember, if the first time they were introduced to you, they knew that you sold life insurance, they only bought life insurance. They don't know about all that other stuff. They didn't need it then. Remember, timing's key to this. If you're a property and casualty agent, chances are you sold me my car insurance. You might have talked to me about my home at the same time, but we got to make sure that we find out everything that you do. You need to define what the client needs. And you need to disturb them about their current situation. They have no idea what's out there. Every day they're waking up just trying to get by to the next day. And they know eventually they're going to get to retirement, and they figure out it's probably going to work out. But we all know gardens just don't plant themselves. We've got to make sure that we plant the proper seeds, that we water it, that we tend it, that we take care of our clients, because when they became our clients and we developed that relationship, we promised them, I'll take care of you. I'll be there when you need me most. A bad day is when a client comes to you and says, I'm disabled and I can't work. What arrangements have you made to make all of my payments? If you didn't ask, did we really keep our promise? It helps you understand their priorities, things going on in their life and where they want to go. It will also eliminate poor prospects. Not that they won't be a good prospect in the future, but it lets you know where they're at today. If they're in the middle of filing bankruptcy, if their house is upside down, if things are going wrong in every direction, today might not be the day to talk to them about what their future plans are or keeping them on track. But it will be at some point. But I can promise you, if you hold 10 to 12 appointments, 6 opening interviews, approximately 2 of those people will close. You're going to set the stage also for your next meeting, and it's going to be on a favorable circumstances, because they already have told you, listen, Mark, I need my mortgage covered. Mark doesn't need to even guess what we're getting together on the next appointment. Mark already knows we're covering Terry's mortgage. He's ready to go. He's probably already got the application filled out. Last time you went to your dentist or doctor's office, did everyone else sit out in the waiting room at least 45 minutes? Yeah, we were all excited. I was thinking we need to send them a bill, but we don't get to. In the meantime, someone comes out from behind a cabinet and they give us a little sheet. We start filling it out. We tell them about all of our past history, our current ailments, and what we're here for today. Do we do that every single time we sit down and meet with a client? As all they're doing is a priority planning review with you as a patient, and that's what we need to do with our clients. But here's easy language. Since we provide more than traditional insurance, I found the best way for me to show you the kind of work we do is by using a priority planning review. The questions will show us what else we do, and your answers will let us know how we can better serve you. It's about me serving you. It's not about what I'm trying to do for you. It's to let you know what I'm going to do as they go through here. They'll check off the list, things that they want, things that they need. You can train your staff to do the same thing. If you use it as a bonus program, it works really well. When I first started out with Ken, as I would visit with all the clients, doing a simple auto change, a mortgagee change, I'd talk to him about getting the personal review done. I said, I would like to get together with you to show you the type of work that Ken does to see how he could better provide service to you. And I never failed to have 5 to 8 appointments per week on clients that we would just do that with. Transition statements. Transition statements are statements that you make to kind of get you from what you're dealing with right now into another area that you want to bring up with your client. One of the best ones I found was, oh, by the way, who handles your life insurance? Now, it really doesn't matter where they have their life insurance. I'm with American National. I'm going to know all the policies that they have, and I'm going to make sure that their beneficiaries are correct, that the policies are going to last. We're going to get reproposals. I've paid death claims on a lot of companies that are not with my company because I'm the one who has the information. Oh, by the way, I noticed we have your car insurance, Sid, but we don't have your home. Can I give you a quote? Oh, by the way. And it's really unassuming, and the client automatically is ready for you to transition into something else. Now, the next one's my absolute all-time favorite transition statement. It does not matter. If you could make one change in your retirement program today, what would that be? Now, most of the time, I'll be honest, the clients all say, I'd retire tomorrow. And I laugh 100% of the time. And I'm waiting on them to give me that answer. You need to know this. I'm waiting on this answer because I simply say, well, let me ask you, how are you set up? How much money do you currently have? How much income are you expecting to get? I wait for them to say that. It opens the dialogue. Now, traditionally, most of my clients are honestly not ready for retirement, and it's okay. Because then all we do is they've opened the discussion, we're now going to start that planning process. If you could make one change in your car insurance program today, what would it be? Okay, we all know the answer, don't we? I'd make it cheaper. Well, is cheaper what you're looking for, or are you looking for a better buy? I promise you, I make you a promise. If I can show you that what you've got is a better buy, or I'm a better buy, and give you a second opinion, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? I haven't had one client say, no, I wouldn't be interested. They all say that they're interested. When you think of your insurance program, what's most important to you? It opens the transition. It doesn't matter whether it's life insurance, auto insurance, or home insurance. When you think each day of different risks you face, an at-fault accident, when you injure someone, damage to your home, rental property, cars, or ATV, you get too sick to work, or premature death on the part of one of you, which concerns you most? Now, there's a reason why this is worded that way. Most people automatically think of car accidents. When they think of a car accident, there's usually a lawyer involved. Everyone wants to avoid that. They've built assets, they want to keep assets. Damage to your home, rental car, I bring those up because I start thinking about toys. People that have toys have disposable income. Find the people that have the most toys, and you will find the people with the most disposable income. You get too sick to work, and I'm going to refer to that in just a moment, and premature death. The results of all this is you're going to end up with what's called a priority sale. That's a single need sale. The client says, well, you know what? I've been thinking I really do need to cover my house. You know what? I've got no way to protect my income if I get too sick. These are things where the client will tell you up front, you know what? John, I really do need that. Shut up. You've got the sale. It's just an application process at that point. Then you've got what's called the planning trail. This usually requires further calculations, needs calculators. You can use VSA, backroom technician, Ketley, There's a lot of different programs that can help you put together all of your clients' hopes and dreams, what they've done, into an organized plan so that they can actually get set up on a process to making sure that they achieve their dreams. They talked about human life value calculator. What was magical was after 9/11, the US government came out with a magical number, 1.3 million. Everybody in the tower was worth 1.3 million. From the guy making minimum wage all the way up to the head execs at the mutual fund companies. They were all worth 1.3 million. It was magical. What's interesting is I want to know why, if someone dies in Nevada, why is a $10,000 benefit or a $50,000 benefit satisfactory? If you had died in a 9/11 tower, and God bless all those people, why were they worth 1.3 million, but if I die of cancer in Nevada or an automobile accident, I'm worth less? It's important that we make those distinctions. What we're talking about is client building versus acquisition. Acquisition is referring actually to a transaction, probably the first time you meet someone. A client building system actually converts transactional customers into relationship clients. They're going to like you, they're going to trust you. They said, all things being equal, a friend will always refer other friends to you. All things not being equal, a friend will prefer to always send clients to you. You need to understand, if they like and trust you and you've done a good job for them, you have a right to ask for referrals. Sid, is there anything today that you don't understand? Sid, is there anything that I've not answered for you? Is what we've done here what you want done? Do you know anyone else that I should be helping solve their problems? If you solved your clients' problems, do they know other people like themselves? Birds of a feather flock together, don't they? So why wouldn't they be comfortable referring you to other people? The client relationships are built through service and periodic contact. It can't always be when the bill comes due. It's got to be on a relationship building approach. Same thing you do with a marriage. It's going to be birthdays, it's going to be anniversaries, it's going to be times that are important to them. You want to make sure that you're keeping in touch. And the benefits is you're going to have repeat sales. Each sale tends to be larger than the last. The reason why? They're older. They know that. But they didn't get to buy everything they wanted. When I was 42, I bought a 30-year term because at the time, it's what I needed. Since that time, my agent has converted it. My agent really enjoyed that first-year commission. I'm older. I was 42 and I just turned 50. And that's when I wanted to make sure I got it converted. The first sale is the hardest. And you always think the first sale is the first time they bought. Actually, your first sale is when they buy you, when they're going to trust you to help them solve their problems. Increases your renewal income, which increases your persistency. And once again, you get referred leads if you've done a good job. Peace of mind. The thing about peace of mind is there really is no price that you can put on peace of mind. We want protection for what we own and what we built. It's my stuff. I paid a price to build a business, to get a rental property, to buy these toys. I built it. I want to keep it. If you've ever been involved in a car accident where you were the person at fault, typically there's normally going to be an attorney that's going to be involved. And I'll tell you the places where you find out the most accidents are. That's where the large billboard attorney signs are. And there's trust attorneys, estate attorneys, they do trust and estate, and then there are asset protection. And the time to find out the difference between a trust and an estate attorney and an asset protection attorney is not the day after you need one. Let me tell you something, it's huge. There's 3 financial obstacles that our clients normally visit with: living too long, dying too soon, and economic hazards along the way. Our clients want to win financially. They want to be able to replace, guarantee, and protect their income, their savings, and their assets. Living too long, and Rita talked about this. Today, there are over 40 million senior citizens in the U.S., and by 2050, that number will double. The February 2012 Smithsonian said in 1950 there were 2,300 people over the age of 100. By 2050, that same date, there will be over 600,000 people that are over 100 years old. Survey by Americans for a Secure Retirement, 88% of all Americans are worried about maintaining a comfortable standard of living in retirement. If you could make one change in your current retirement program, what would that be? It's so unassuming. It's a transition. They're worried about it. The news, every time you open up AOL, there's something on there that's telling them that their retirement isn't going to be there. They're worried. Are you leading them? Are you taking care of them? Are you helping them figure out what's going to be there? Living too long, the three major concerns. Asset accumulation. Did I put away enough? And depending on the statistics that you've seen, I've seen as little as $10,000 to the average retiree having $50,000 at retirement. Now, if you're fortunate enough where you're working with individuals with a lot more, but we're talking about your average person, the average person working in a hotel. The picture's not everyone's got $1 million or $10 million. Asset liquidation. I built up the stuff. I want to use the stuff. That's what asset liquidation's about. And long-term care. The real issue is, will my money last as long as I do? Now, other than how long your parents live, there's some online calculators, and I'll tell you a little bit. Death forecast is the absolute easiest. I took it when I was 49 years old, and it said, based on death forecast, I will live to approximately age 89. Now, if you go to live100.com, it says I'm going to live to 98. Now you know why I converted my term. 30-year term at 42 was going to end at 72. I saw the handwriting on the wall. I wasn't going to die. Now, I did the exact same calculators for my husband. And the calculators came up that my husband was going to live to 98, and Live 100 said he was going to live to 105. My husband is not happy with me. But all four of his grandparents lived to over 103. Chances are I'm going to go first. And then realage.com. Now this one's, where you're kidding yourself and you're saying, you know what, I feel really young on the inside. Well, I actually am. I'm excited. Now you need medical information, and this one takes a good 20 minutes. You need your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your A1C. Now, if you know what an A1C is, I'm sorry. It means you're dealing with someone that has diabetes, or what they call Syndrome X. What's interesting is 7% of the US population has diagnosed diabetes. 6.2 million people don't know they have it. When I bought my insurance the last time, and the one reason why I converted my term is I went to go buy some more life insurance. Remember, we buy 4 to 7 times. I'm working on that 7th time. And my medical underwriter, you know how we're always taught to use that medical close? Well, we know you look good on the outside, but we don't know what the inside looks at. I've diagnosed numerous clients with diabetes, cancer, lupus. And recently, I got diagnosed with diabetes. You need to know what you do makes a difference. The services you provide to your clients is amazing. But the A1C is a 90-day look back. You can't actually cheat on a blood sugar test. And all of our vendors that provided candy today, those of us with the A1C issues, we appreciate it. Living too long, asset accumulation. People of all ages are concerned about putting away money. The best advice is free and simple. Save early, save often, save consistently. We've never heard this before, right? The Employee Benefit Research Institute said 46% of American workers have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. This is your average Joe out there. The 3-step plan to retire comfortably: spend less than you earn, invest the rest, and repeat. Now you'll notice you've got a couple of handouts there. One of them is the Social Security statement, and I was so happy to see Rita here. Now, I've kept every Social Security statement since the beginning of time. It was used to be sent to all workers participating in Social Security, age 25, 3 months before your birthday. And the first thing most people would do is, as soon as they'd get it, they'd rip it open, stare at the inside, and say, I am getting a $1,900 benefit, and that was it. Well, the reason why I have this to you, when Social Security stopped printing it last year, and we won't go into a political debate or anything regarding the government. I assume that the government will fix it. They've taken our money for a number of years. They'll fix it. It won't look the way it looks today, but I'm sure they'll fix it. But you'll notice there's a little arrow, and if you're able to read that, it says, Social Security is a larger source of income for most elderly Americans today. It was never intended to be your only source. You will also need other savings, investments, pensions, or retirement accounts to make sure you have enough money to live comfortably when you retire. And you need to know, I had this. Every January 1st, I printed Wanda Worker. She was out there regularly. I went there this year and Wanda Worker was gone. So I had my 2011 Wanda Worker. I had her handy. And every time I sit down, you know what? This is not Terry telling my clients that they need to save more. This is the U.S. government that said they needed 4 things. So let's see. You need to make sure that you've got savings. Tell me how much you have in savings. You have to have investments. Tell me how much you have in investments. The government said they needed to have it. I'm just here to facilitate it and find out what they've got going on. And then Rita also talked about the gruesome truth. In 2015, we will begin paying more in benefits than we will have in taxes. This is a real concern. You can't open up any Internet Explorer program, whatever, without it seeing up there. If you go to the finance page, it's all over it. In there, it talks about how they're going to be looking at paying 78%. So where the clients were thinking they were getting $1,900, if you drop that down to 78%, how does that affect them? What else are they doing? Remember, you're the change agent. Now, the back of this thing, I'm going to show you a real simple way. This thing is the coolest thing. And actually, one of my agents did it. And you know how you have those coffee cup questionnaires? Because you know if you pull out a computer, you scare your clients, right? Oh, you know you've got some voodoo in those computer programs. But this thing's awesome. So if you fold it in half, so you've got numbers on one side, just like that. Let me show you how this works. So you're sitting with the client, you're at lunch, and the client said, you ask a client how much they're making. So let's assume that they're making $2,260 a month. You simply open that up, and you'll notice to maintain $2,260, and we used a conservative 4% interest here, they would need $800,000 in life insurance in order to replace that income. That's how this was traditionally designed. Now there's another way to use it, because we're also talking about retirement. If your client, how much do you need when you retire? So your client says, I need $5,000 a month, because I want you to know I believe everything that Dennis Hopper said. My retirement is going to be awesome. I have got Machu Picchu and the Great Wall of China on the bucket list. I'm working right now. I can't get there. It's what retirement's about, doing things that you want with people that you want to do it. I'm planning on having an awesome retirement, but it's going to take money. So assume I need $5,000. So if we take out the $1,000 that I'm going to end up with Social Security, so we're down to $425. You understand it's a guesstimate. That means I would need $1.5 million in my retirement program to be able to pull 4% out. So you see, it's just a little coffee cup. It's just something designed just to get it started. You can use it a third way. A client says, you know what? I'm good on life insurance. I've got enough. I've got $300,000 of that whole life universal par thing. They have no idea what they got. But they know they have $300,000. Well, the cool thing is you say, well, you know what, Terry, that's awesome. You understand $300,000 not paying off the mortgage, paying for education, or any debts is going to provide to your spouse $850 for the rest of her life. And then you shut up. And let them sit for a moment and say, how does that make you feel? And you usually have this conversation in front of the spouse, and they'll look at them. I can't live on $850. We know the answer. We know it's not enough. They don't know it. We've got to do something to disturb them. So living too long. We'll kind of go on to all this. Long-term care. Needing long-term care does not bring families together. It tears them apart. The burden is rarely shared and usually results in siblings resenting each other. As Ken said, I've got 2 kids. My son is not going to take care of me. My daughter would, I know that. But when she got married about a year and a half ago, her mother-in-law moved in for about 2 weeks. And she called me. She said, Mom, if ever you can't afford your long-term care, let me know. I'll help you pay for it. At age 65, there's a 43% chance of ending up in a nursing home. But statistics don't sell insurance. It never has. We can't back up the hearse and make a client buy. It's really the consequences. It's them losing their dignity, them not being able to make the decisions for themselves. When you take the risk out of the picture and you replace it with consequences, long-term care is indispensable. Believe it or not, David Ramsey and Susie Orman even agree with us on this. They will tell your clients, buy long-term care. Long-term care is the antidote. Economic hazards along the way. Disability, and I was really happy to see so many people out there, and you're going to actually see those statistics in just a moment. Lawsuit, business and investment failures, medical expenses, property and casualty losses, loss of employment. We spend, and our clients spend, more time planning the family vacation than we do against evaluating and protecting and managing our risk. If you're a life-only agent, have a great property and casualty agent that you work with, because you're working to protect and grow assets. And we know that we've got life insurance and we've got protection for retirement assets, but when they start pulling those assets out, I see garnishments. And I see garnishments for life. So it's really important that they've got the right property and casualty products in place. LIMRA found, now this was amazing to me, and this is the reason why you've got the cute little disability sheet in front of you. And it's a front and back, and it simply says, what are your plans if you become disabled? Which drawer will you open? Well, the answers are on the back because your clients will always want to open up another door. But LIMRA found that only 36% of agents actually bring up disability insurance. This is a shock, because you need to understand, if your clients own disability and they didn't buy it from you, look at the neighbors on both sides of you, and chances are they bought it from one of them. So if you're trying to improve your economic situation, remember, your clients are wanting to buy it. And the simplest sale on a disability policy, if you're just starting someone out and we're not talking about a business owner, cover the mortgage. Cover the mortgage for 2 to 3 years. It's inexpensive. And I'm sure any of our vendors would be glad to help you with. The Life Foundation found out that 70% of Americans could not make it 1 month without a paycheck. 1 in 4 Americans could not make it 1 week without a paycheck. What are we doing about our clients' savings? We need to make sure that they're putting aside their money. The U.S. Department of Labor said 70% of employers do not offer long-term care disability. The National Safety Council, 73% of disabling accidents and illnesses are not work-related. You know, the first person to always buy disability insurance is a dentist. I've never had a dentist not buy as much disability insurance as he could possibly get. Because if he's right-handed or left-handed, you break one arm on the weekend on that quad, you're not doing teeth till that arm comes out of a cast. May's Disability Awareness Month, and you can go to lifehappens.org/DMKit. They have everything there for you. It's now the month of February. You can actually set up a really nice campaign. We all understand that if our clients were to save 10% of their income for 10 years, we'd agree we have a pretty good client. They're doing all the right things, but 1 year's worth of disability and that entire 10 years would be wiped out. Dying too soon. The same concerns we all have: savings, liquidity of assets. It's all about life insurance. There's 2 things that we share with the people we love: our time and our love. And when we run out of time, that's when our love needs to shine the brightest. We leave behind people that are hurt, that were looking to us to take care of them. It's our love. Currently, the Life Foundation have Insure Your Love for the month of February. It helps clients look at love in a whole new way. Life insurance, as we all know, is a gift of love, and it can help protect families financially, now and in the future. Life insurance isn't just about a death benefit. It's a living benefit. It's about the people that you love that have to go on after you. It's a living benefit if you have the right riders. You've got disability waiver of premium. You've got living benefits where you can actually pull an income from your life insurance. Don't look at it as a death benefit. It's actually a living benefit. LIMRA 2011 Life Insurance Ownership Survey breaks my heart. 41%, an all-time low, of Americans are without any insurance at all. 41%. What an opportunity. This is the best time to be in this career. What about the other 59%? Well, the 2010 LIMRA survey said that 50% said they needed more life insurance. They've already admitted to the fact we need more. 30% said they would buy today, if an agent would ask them. Well, when I started, I was told to make 10 appointments a week, hold 3 appointments, and 1 person would buy. That's a 30% closing ratio any way you cut it. You know what? It's not changed since the beginning of time. I've been in the business now 25 years. It hasn't changed. But 30% of the people would actually buy today. When I first started, we had a 17-year member of the $1 Million Roundtable in our agency. And he said, when we put up the statistics, he said, let me ask you a question. Of the people you're going to see this week, he said, what percentage are you going to close? Hey, we had just heard 10, 3, 1. I got it. I'm going to close 30%. He said, wrong. He said 100%. You just got to find the right 30%. Goes back to marketing, folks. Goes back to marketing. You can close 100% of the people if we just go out and find our 30%. When people we love are gone, a majority of those families have no life insurance or not enough. Life insurance will give us the time to heal, and it is because he loved me. If you've seen the Insure Your Love, they've got a great poem that you can actually print out and send to your clients. Remember, if you're approaching them not just when you're trying to get them to buy something, but to disturb them, lifeinsurance.org is amazing. Real life stories. This is a cute little pamphlet. It has one story on long-term care, life insurance, disability, and how it saved people from financial hardship. What you need to know about life insurance. Talks about term, UL, that whole life stuff. It's got a little bit of everything in there. Then you've got the pictures of the people that have been affected and their stories. What are stay-at-home parents really worth? Business continuation strategies that help your business thrive. Life insurance, what women need to know. Let me tell you something. We've got a lot of great resources available to us because we can actually change people's lives. Did we not mean enough? Last week we had one of the life insurance recipients come and speak to us at my company meeting. And it was a young man who at age 15, his father passed away, leaving behind 5 boys. He was 15, his brother was 14, and then they got younger. At 15, he had to go to work and start supporting his mom. His brother, they sold candy for 3 years, and then he went through a story. He said, why didn't someone talk to my dad? He said, if my dad had understood how important it was, he would have bought life insurance. I'm a product of life insurance. My husband, at 15 years old, his father passed away. He had life insurance. His mom was able to buy a home in an upscale middle-class neighborhood where I met him. He was literally the boy next door. Life insurance allowed him and his mom to start college together. It allowed their lives the ability to grow so that we could get married, and with the money that he received, we were able to get our first down payment. His dad loved him. And I'm sure this gentleman's dad loved his family very much, but somebody didn't do their job. We have to disturb them because on their own we will not wake up and they will not say, today's my day. We've got to get to them before it's too late. It's our job to go out and make a difference. In the confrontation between the stream and the rock, the stream always wins. Not because of strength, but because of perseverance. Tens of thousands of years the water has driven through the Grand Canyon. It's worn the rock away. Perseverance, it's done it. It's not that it was stronger than the rock. And you guys are the water in our lives. We've all been through the last 24 months. Economic downturn, the state of Nevada, my goodness, the things that our clients have had to endure, that you have had to endure. But you have been persistent. You've been the water. You've been the change agent. You've met with your clients. You've gone out and seen new people. You've not listened to the doom and gloom. What you do makes a difference. And there are lives that are going to be better for having known you. Guys, we expect everyone to have an absolutely fabulous 2012. I'd like to thank you for sharing the time with me, and we look forward to seeing you next month.